All right, excellent. Good morning, everyone. I would like to call the Calbright College Board of Trustees meeting to order this morning on March 25 at 9:02 a.m. And before the meeting gets started, I'd like the board liaison to review the meeting procedures and protocols.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I am Terry Lucas, the board liaison at Calbright College. You can follow our meeting agenda on Board Docs. The link can be found on our website, which is calbright.org/board. For attendees who wish to make public comment in person, please fill out a public comment card and submit to me. For attendees who participate remotely, please use the Q&A feature on Zoom to address the board for up to 3 minutes. Public comment should be used to address today's agenda. And a reminder that this board meeting is being recorded. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Terry. May I ask you to please call the roll?
Love Adu. Absent. Hildegard Aguinaldo.
Present.
Maria Blaze. Absent. Adrian Brown.
Present.
Lillian Corral. Absent. Amy Costa. Absent. Ricardo De La Fuente. Absent. Tom Epstein.
Here.
Pam Haynes.
Here.
Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis. Absent. Harry Legrand.
Present.
Jesse Melgar.
Present.
Jennifer Perry.
Present.
Syrian Villavicencio.
Here.
Los Villalobos.
Here.
And Joseph Williams.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Tara.
Aguinaldo.
Thank you very much, Terry. Oh, frog. Now we will proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Melgar, will you lead us in the pledge?
Absolutely.
All right. Does anyone have any comments on the order of our agenda? All right. Hearing none, we will move forth. The next item is my president's report. And traditionally, this space has been used to read a summary of the executive committee meeting. I don't think I'm going to do that. What I want to do is encourage everyone to go on Board Docs and make sure on our website and to just make sure that they keep themselves up to date and abreast of the discussions that we have there. I don't think it's necessary to hash through the meetings verbally. So please just take advantage of that resource. It's available to everyone. What I do want to do is say a few words. I want to thank our staff and our incredible team at Calbright for the incredible work that they've been doing in terms of our budget advocacy. I don't think a lot of us see the day-to-day work that they put into making sure that we are very, very well represented in Sacramento and doing a wonderful job in terms of advocating for our college and our students with the decision makers over there. So I just wanted to say thank you. It's so much work to advance the work of the college, to do the day-to-day things that are necessary to make the college move, and then to think big picture about our future, our students' future, and our state's future. So I just wanted to say thank you. The second thing I want to do before I turn it over to President Menon is to say thank you to Bill. We discussed at yesterday's California Community College Board of Governors meeting that Bill has not been reappointed to the board, so I made the appointment of Jennifer Perry as vice president. So congratulations again, Jennifer. But we will sorely miss Bill, and said this yesterday, I'm going to say it again today. He's just an upstanding human being, and we were so lucky to have his companionship, his collaboration, all the expertise and energy that he put into making this board tick. So I hope he's watching. I know he's watching, and we'll continue forth under his inspiration. So thank you very much, Bill. All right. Keeping it brief and passing it over to President Menon.
Thank you so much. Good morning, President Aguinaldo. Now, Vice President Perry, welcome.
and board members of the Board of Trustees. It is a pleasure to be with you today to continue our work together. It's all centered around serving students and demonstrating to leaders across policy, education, technology, and workforce development just how exceptional the work at Calbright truly is. Over the past several weeks, I've had several opportunities to share Calbright's progress, outcomes, our impact. That's true with partners, with policymakers across the country, from presenting at South by Southwest to meetings in Washington, D.C., and most recently with senators and assembly members here in Sacramento in the state capitol. What stands out to me actually the most from those conversations is this, that policymakers are impressed and they're also inspired. They see that there's care and intentionality and innovation behind every student interaction. They see how we meet adult learners where they are and how we combine technology with deeply human, student-first approaches. And they see that Calbright, first and foremost, is not just an idea, but a model that is delivering real results for Californians, and importantly, that recognition is translating into continued momentum. As you know, in January, Governor Newsom proposed $38.1 million in ongoing funding for Calbright, and that proposal was a really strong signal of confidence in the work of all of us, our students, our faculty, our staff, our leadership team, and our board, and what we have built together. It reflects that the state sees Calbright as essential to the future of higher education and workforce development. Since then, we've continued to build on that momentum. Just last week, we had our first Senate budget hearing of the spring, and we were able to clearly demonstrate three things. First, that we are delivering measurable workforce outcomes at scale. Two, that we are reaching adult learners who have been historically underserved. And three, that our model is both innovative and necessary to meet the state's evolving workforce needs. We left that hearing encouraged, not just by the questions, but by the engagement and support from senators. There is a clear understanding that Calbright fills a critical gap and that continued investment is key in sustaining and expanding its impact. So I want to also thank Chancellor Christian for her recognition of Calbright at the hearing, not only around our growth, but that California is home to a national model and one that is relevant to reaching working age adults across the country as well. So while the budget process continues, and it will over the coming months, the most important takeaway is this. We have strong momentum, strong alignment, and a growing coalition of support across the state reinforcing the governor's proposed $38.1 million to bring Calbright potentially to a $53 million in ongoing investment for our students and, most importantly, what we do for our students. That momentum is not just showing up in Sacramento. It's showing up in the work you'll hear about today from our leadership team and in the partnerships that we're building across California to better serve students. And so you'll hear from Vice President Dr. Tamika Connor about two important initiatives that reflect where Calbright is headed. First, our new partnership with North Orange Continuing Education, which represents a major step forward in building seamless, equitable pathways for adult learners, especially those starting in non-credit programs. By creating those clearer transitions into credit-bearing opportunities, expanding credit for prior learning, and aligning with workforce needs, we're reducing the barriers and accelerating progress for students. This is exactly the kind of system collaboration envisioned in Vision 2030, and it also positions Calbright as a leader in making that vision real. Second, you'll learn about an agreement with the Launch Apprenticeship Network to expand access to paid work-based learning opportunities. These are the things that position students to earn while they're learning, to actually gain that real-world experience, and also to move more quickly into high-quality jobs. It also strengthens our partnership with employers and workforce systems across the regions, and that's ensuring that we're offering, what we offer is kind of directly connected to those economic opportunities. Together, these are the kinds of partnerships that are creating more pathways into education, into careers, and into ultimately upward mobility for the Californians we serve. You'll also hear from Vice President of Learning and Instruction, Dr. Shannon McCarty, about our participation in the Competency-Based Education Network's program that they have around a quality assurance review pilot. So as a college that is built on competency-based education, that act of demonstrating quality and rigor and outcomes is essential. Participation in this national quality assurance process positions Calbright as a leader and provides that kind of trusted signal to our students, to employers, and to policymakers that our programs, they're delivering real value. It also strengthens the confidence and expands opportunities for partnerships and supports that continued enrollment growth, all of which ultimately benefit our learners. You will also hear about Calbright's Student Journey 2.0, which is anchored in a very remarkable dynamic journey map. And what it does is really bring students into a single shared view of their progress, their options, and it provides kind of that clear direction while also enabling faculty and staff to provide timely, coordinated, and most importantly, personalized support. Some board members actually received an early view of this last spring as we developed it with student input. And so our Student Journey 2.0, the aim and the goal and the purpose of it is really to strengthen persistence, completion, and employment outcomes so that we can directly advance the college's mission and impact, but at scale. And finally, today's agenda includes next steps in our work with Calbright's chapter of the California School Employees Association as we begin the process of negotiations for the next collective bargaining agreement. This sunshining process is about a shared understanding, and it reflects our commitment to engaging openly and constructively with our staff. It's a partnership that we value and that we continue to be committed to working together. And just before we move into the full agenda, I did want to take a moment to acknowledge something broader. As we approach the March 31st holiday to honor our state and national farm workers, public entities across California, and really each of us as individuals reflect on the significance of recent disturbing news regarding Cesar Chavez, those devastating public accounts of abuse of girls and women, and a public statement by Dolores Huerta. And we recognize that recent news and conversation has been very difficult for many of us. As I shared with Calbright staff and faculty last week at our all hands meeting, it is really important to center those who have experienced harm, to acknowledge the weight of that reality, and to move forward with care and intention. On behalf of the board, I want to express my appreciation for the thoughtful engagement of our entire CCC community and beyond as we're navigating this moment together. So as public entities, the legislature, and leaders consider how to proceed with those public recognitions, we will move forward in a way that reflects our values and aligned with support for those who need it most. Finally, last but most definitely not least, I wanted to thank also Bill Rawlings for his service to the Calbright Board of Trustees and his truly exceptional leadership over the past several years of this college. Bill's wholehearted dedication, that deep experience in higher education that he brought us, that longstanding commitment to supporting community college students and professionals has really strengthened this institution and our system in lasting ways. So in both those moments of progress, but also in those periods of challenge, Bill's collaborative spirit and steady sage advice is something that I will personally hold because it's advice that guided me, guided Calbright leadership, guided faculty, staff, and this board towards clarity and towards purpose. His decades of service in education and in advocacy for college communities will leave that meaningful and enduring impact that carries us forward, and I cannot wait to see how he contributes to the state next. With that, President Aguinaldo, that concludes my remarks.
Thank you very much, President Menon. At this time, let's move to closed session. We have two items. Item 2.1 is a conference with labor negotiators, Government Code Section 54957.6, Agency Designated Representative, Shannon McCarty, Employee Organization, Calbright Faculty Association. Item 2.2 is conference with labor negotiators, Government Code Section 54957.6, Agency Designated Representative, Tamea Hiroshi, Employee Organization, California School Employees Association. Is there any public comment on the closed session items?
There is no public comment.
Thank you very much, Terry. We expect to return from closed session in approximately 20 minutes. See you then.